Hello, 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 and welcome to another gameplay day Wildcard Basic Deck Building Guide. This one is for Alpha 4. I will be doing them in no specific order except for Locke. I'll probably do last because Locke is going has had some changes. I'm not used to him. He's my weakest character. And he's got some bugs, so which are fun. I love it. Like some of the bugs that he has right now are making for some interesting moves within matches. So I'm just gonna wait until he's working the way that they're intending him to work before I do a video. But his bugs are fun. They make for some interesting plays, both for while playing him and playing against him. I've been enjoying it, so we'll see what happens with him. But today we are going to focus on Bolgar because Bolgar is my big bad daddy kind of character. I love him. He is my primary for if I were to do strengths on my characters, I would do Bulgar's first, Ragnar second, Neves third, and Locke fourth. But that's just personally because I am more of a support tank um, player character style person. So if I were to do like the classes of gaming characters, like your supports, your tanks, your attacks, your assassins, or your ranged or mage, whatever you want to call it. I'm a primary support, secondary tank, but realistically, I'm a duelist. With support tank. Lots of people are offensive duelists. That's where it actually comes from because they can dual wield different weapons and character types when going on the offensive. I am a defensive duelist. I'm better at support and taking the hits and making sure that everyone's alive. So that's why when you see me in my videos running around like in the back line, I'm running like by the core and throwing out monster cards. It's because that's my defensive nature kicking in. I have been an offensive person when I was younger. Kind of comes with the hot-bloodedness, so I know all about that. But I've settled more into like support tank as my primaries. The with Ragnar, I got full offensive. I do not care. I am going to burn you. But I digress. That's not this video. We're gonna focus on Bulgar. So let's actually get into Bulgar, so that we can see about him. His abilities have changed a bit, so we're gonna go over that. Overall, he is still the offensive or the defensive and offensive tank. His rework has made him uh, a tr- I'm gonna say a true universal offensive defensive tank character. The reason being is that he takes the hits regardless, because I mean it's Bulgar. Let's be real here. This man does not care. He has won these championships before. He knows what happens when he goes in. So when he goes in with purpose. Um, he has a lot more mobility to be able to switch from being in the back line defending the core to being able to get to the front line and push the front line, or push back the enemy, or even be able to get to the enemy's core. He has a lot more movability with that, and a lot more utility as well. They've really they've really upgraded him in uh, good, sizable ways that show the veracity of Werebear and what it means to just go into uh, 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 blood red vision rage when uh, when push comes to shove and having to complete things. I mean, at least that's how I play him. But let's get into his actual abilities. His movement ability has changed. A lot of the character's movement abilities have changed. It used to be everyone had a dash. At one point, everyone had two dashes. And during that time, people were moving. It was high octane, high adrenaline, honestly, a little too fast in movement around the field because you could get from one side of the field to the other in 2 seconds. I mean, it was a monkey house. It was like you put a bunch of monkeys in a cage and they were all calm, and then all of a sudden you just started ringing the bell and everyone just started jumping everywhere. It was madness. So I'm glad that they changed things up. But with his, what happens is you have to hold it down for it to continue to work. So when you release your movement ability, it will stop, but you can work into that, and I'll explain. So what happens is you start to run, and you will run and run and run for a set duration, or if you release the button early. During that time, any characters that you do physically hit will be knocked back a short distance and have like a momentary dazing from that because they're getting knocked back. The process of like flying through the air a little bit and hitting the ground, that's the daze period. It's not a stun per se; they're just dazed, like they can see everything, and um, but they just get dazed. Which is not one of the official words for wildcard. It would be part of the knockback process. But what happens is you can control by like moving your character, doing the movement controls, and you can guide it. A tip for sharp turns: if you want to do a sharp turn Bolgar dash, if whether it's a Bolgar dashing at you or you miss your mark and you need to readjust to be able to hit them, is to jump. You can jump, and you can jump multiple times. And what happens essentially is it kills your momentum by like from what I have seen, like 75 to 90%. So you can just like do a short stop gag in that period of you jumping. You can look if you need to and like re change your trajectory. It's a little hard to do, but I believe in you. You can do it. And then you can change your angle and like realign. You cannot do a 180 that I have seen as of yet or have tried. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. I don't see that happening with the amount of time that a jump takes, but hey, maybe you're slick McGee and you can pull it off. I don't know. If you do, that's awesome. If you don't, I mean, you're with me. I can't do that. So that's a little trick that you can do with Bulgar with your dashes, but you want to make sure that you're holding down the button to continue it happening because when you let it go before the timer runs out, you will stop. It's really good defensively as well. Let's say that your teammate is in a fight and they've got lower health than the enemy. You can kind of bum rush in there with your dash, hit them, immediately let go of the button, so you stay right where you are. They just got knocked back. Hopefully, the way you positioned yourself, you're in between your teammate and the enemy. Guess what? You're now the tank. You're now doing your job, and you're gonna start attacking them. Um, and we'll get back into that scenario in just a second because there's another piece to it that is chef's kiss. But we're gonna go into Logzuka next just because it's right here. What it is the log on his back. Kind of wish you could turn him around, but it's okay. Um, the log on his back. He brings it around and he shoots a squirrel. Sorry. He shoots a squirrel, and I just imagine like a squirrel going top speed, flapping cheeks. Just flying so fast. Just like hitting one of them out, like Infernus in the head, and then Infernus just kind of looks like, what? Anyway, so it just shoots out a squirrel, and if you get hit by it, well, quote unquote, you get hit by a squirrel. There's a squirrel inside there. It doesn't actually get shot out, but like just imagining that is hilarious. Just see the like just a slow mo shot of the squirrel getting shot out, and like the tail just going furiously in the wind and the cheeks. The eyelids getting pulled back. Okay, so if the enemy monsters or characters are in range of the Logzuka when it activates, it applies a knockback, and it will launch those monsters and characters back a distance with the dazing period of like them getting knocked back, and then they'll touch down the ground. And they'll be stunned for like a second, and then they'll get back up. It's a great engage and disengage. And this is what I mean by great utility in both becoming that offensive tank and that defensive tank, being able to quickly switch between the two because Logzuka has the ability where you can run into an enemy team group that is out overpowering your teammate or yourself and blast everyone out of the radius. So that is great for defensive purposes, or let's say there's a big group coming to your core, you're able to position yourself between the wave of monsters and your core. You can log Zuka and spread them out and back, or back and out. So it's really good defensively, offensively. You're charging the enemy core. Locke just used his ultimate and threw out 5 monsters, and his teammate threw out like 2 or 3. Locke was able to get off another one because he only had like 3 mana apparently, so he was able to throw out a 3 card. They've got a little uh, mound of monsters defending the core. You run in there, you dash in there like a madman. Now you have a couple options. You can either dash in and just plow through that, like just bulldoze them, like ah, and just knock back everything. And we can bring that back into the situation once we get into his next ability. But or you can like run up in there and like use your Logzuka, and you're going to spread them all out. You're going to break up that wall. They're not going to have that defensive wall. It's going to be broken apart, littered about. So it's really good offensively. You can really break up any defensive measures that the enemy has. It does have some range to it, so you don't have to be right next to people. You can have a little bit of range, distance between you, so you can still stay with your monsters while pushing back the advancing monsters, or push back farther the defending monsters. So it's really good. Bolgar's sidekick ability has changed, and boy howdy has it changed. This is a great change. I love Burr. Burr is beautiful. Burr is great, and now I can actually feel that bloodline spiritual connection with Burr. Before with Burr, you would throw out Burr, and he would be basically a summons that advances down the field. He had like a little bit of knockback on summon, but nothing special, and he would just run down the lane and attack. Great ability. I liked it a lot. That's no longer the ability. The ability now actually ties into the lore of Bolgar and Burr like really well, um, which ties into the ultimate. But what happens now is it's a miniature version of your ultimate. With it, what happens is um, you turn into Werebear, but you don't have as much health. You don't have that knockback ability on basic attacks. You don't get healed up or anything when you transform. It just changes your attacks, and it also does limit you. So you don't want to be in it all the time. You want to find a good harmonious balance between changing when you need to and not changing and changing back when you need to. Um, you're really playing a harmony game, which is what Bolgar and Burr did when they became fused. So it like ties really well into it. Like the way the ability works really ties into the lore and everything. Um, so you turn into Werebear. You cannot summon cards. You can still claim wild cards, which I think is nice. You cannot do that in the ultimate, and I'm a little annoyed by that. But I get it because in the ultimate, you're in a frenzied state. You're rabid. You don't know what's going on. Everything's a blur. You need to murder. That's what's happening in your ultimate. That is murder time. You go into the ultimate, it's murder time. Like I don't know what to tell you. But you basically become the werebear, but it's a smaller version, less health. With it, you for your movement ability, it is a jump. Um, but it's a jump with some movement to it, so you can jump. I wish you could like aim it a little bit, but you can. I just wish it was like a little bit more. I guess I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It's good where it's at. But what happens is the longer you hold it down, the higher you jump, and this is going to be very useful for several reasons. Excuse me, for several reasons. Um, so you can do like little short jumps, or you can do big jumps. Uh, the way this is useful is for the lanes and for lock. With this ability, because lock has the ability to hover in the air, and honestly, it's hard for the other champions to get to him, to fight him, because he's up in the air. He's got that unique ability. That's one of his charms. Um, Bolgar has a way to deal with that. Bolgar can charge up his jump, and he does have a little bit of directional control with his jump. And he can like jump a little bit, like and like do go slightly forward in his jump. But what you can do is you can position yourself, jump up in there, and just start smacking him like ah. So you can smack them. So it's a way for you to deal with a hovering lock. Another tip, and it's something I found out after the Alpha 4 got released, because I do try out things outside that, uh, is that you can actually jump from the bottom lane up to the top center lane. You do have to hold the jump ability for a good amount of time. Not a lot, but a good amount of time. You'll see what I mean when you try it. But you can just like run from out from under the top lane onto the side, jump and get on top. So it's very useful. Let's say you just got the wild card, or you just defeated an enemy player and got the wild card, or something to that effect, or you were just down there and your teammates up on the top lane having to deal with an advancing army. You can just hold down your movement ability, run to the side out from under the top lane, and then jump. And then you just land right in the center. And then you go, "Good day, people. How are you? I would like to shake your hand." And then you will just start attacking. If you decide to, or the timer runs out and you go back to Bolgar, then you can give them the bazooka hello and just just really mess them up. Just bow and just like throw them all back. It's really good. So like when you dash engage in and you do that knockback, little dazing to all the characters like on the core defensively, if you remember me talking about that, you can go in there, knock them down, stop your dash, and then just go mini werebear and just start hammering at people, just hammering at everything, just become the brown bear that you know that you can be, and just start just murdering. Like bear mace means nothing. Like I'm coming for you. And then tying into the ultimate. So let's say that you're in there and you're thrashing about. You've already killed an Infernus. You still got a Jans you got to deal with. There's a couple punks. There's a zip zap and couple cacticrew and a cacticine still there. You're getting low health. You're like, oh my gosh, I gotta clear this out. Like if I can clear this out, it's a clean shot to the core. We only have 50% on our health on our core. They're still at 100. We just got the goalie down. Like I can do this. I can do this. Your health's going down. You got like 100 left, and all of a sudden you get that fill meter on your ultimate, and you're like, yeah, baby. Because with your ultimate, if you have the talent card for it, you can regain all your health. It is a full regen, back up to full health, plus the extra health that werebear gives you. So you can go from 5 health, 1 health, uh, zero point 0.5 health all the way back up to 500 health, and just be full charge, ready to go for more. So you can dash in there, bash in there. You can log Zuka if you want, transform into mini werebear, just start going brown bear on them, and just thrashing around. Yeah, they're hitting you. Yeah, your health's going down. It doesn't matter. You got your ultimate. You had your ultimate before you even engage. You have your wombo combo set up. So you can dash in there, log Zuka if you want, or you can save it for afterwards, and then you can mini werebear in there, start thrashing about, just bearing out, going just throwing your arms everywhere. Your health's getting low because you've got a bunch of defensive long range monsters, plus Locke is hovering in the air shooting you, and you got a Ragna on you. She's ignited you. You're on fire. Your health's going down. You've got like 50 health left. You've got your ultimate. And you're like, it's time. It is time to release the true blue werebear, and you activate your alt. With your alt, you can get that full health regen if you have the ability card, but base value, it has a built-in knockback that does damage, and it does damage good. So you're going to blow everything away from you. I don't know the exact number, but I know it's a high number, so you don't have to worry. But it's going to do damage everywhere. It's going to be like a meteor hit the ground, and it's just going to knock everything away, do damage, and uh, most likely, if the enemy player is not at full health, they're gone. They are just gone, gone, gone. They cannot deal with the might that is the true blue werebear. I don't know what to tell you. If they survive, and if they are so unfortunate to have survived that initial onslaught of just pure damage and knockback, they now have to deal with your true might. This is the bread and butter of all things that you can have in the game currently right now, in my opinion, outside of like some things with Ragna and Neva. This is just like, like, makes you feel good inside. When you go full bear, and like you're like, no, Papa Bear is here and Papa Bear is angry. Papa Bear wants to have a word with you. And you try to talk back. What happens is with all of his basic attacks, it's a knockback. So if you talk back to Werebear is going to smack you down. if you if you want a visual representation of this, in my video of me versus Valentina in the match of the Beta Century one, there is an instance where Valentina is mini werebear and I am full blue, true blue, super werebear, and they tried to advance on me. And so, like, I transformed and did damage onto them, and then I basic attacked them, and I slammed them into the wall. And like they got up and they looked at me for a second as just being a rabid brown bear charging at her. I think it's a she. I don't know. It might be he. I haven't asked. I haven't found out. But I just started charging them and like just rabid, ready for blood. I don't care. I'm super werebear. And like they got up and they looked at me and they they tried to attack and I just like smacked them again. They flew into the wall and they died. So when you do that to players, you're going to enjoy it, as you can tell by me laughing. So Super Werebear is the ultimate, the mega, the alpha and the omega, the beginning and the end. They will either bring you to the beginning of victory or they will end your hopes of victory. They do not care. When you're in super werebear form, you are a rabid bear that just goes wild. And if you don't do that and you don't hunt players, I don't know what to tell you, but I think you should start hunting. You'll see in some of my videos, I'll be in super werebear form. Super werebear form does have a dash. I think it has two, but I've only ever used one. So I don't know. But you have a dash. So let's say you're in super werebear form. Somebody was lucky enough to survive that. You hit them and you knocked them back. They got thrown a distance, took damage. They're low health. You're running after them because the hunt is on. Like this is the jungle, baby. Let's go. We are in out in the wild woods, and this bear has a territory, and you are in its territory. You need to run. Because if you curl up in a ball, you are going to die. So like so we'll say the character's running. You have a dash, and the dash is strong. It will instantly close the distance to your prey. You will have your dinner, and it will be delicious when you dash. In one of my videos, I think it's the one versus Alistraza and Illusion, there's a moment where I'm chasing after a Ragna and like I'm in full hunt mode. I'm going to murder. Like I'm the bear. This is my territory. I need to murder you. Sorry for your luck. So you'll see me chasing them, and they've got distance. They're able to keep that distance away, but I have the dash. So what happens? I just pounce on them. And it attacks them. It applies a knockback. They go flying. They wind up flying into the bottom, onto the second lane, and like I follow them down there, and I just finish them off like easy meal, like yum yum in my tum. So Werebear, great thing for your combo. I highly recommend it. A couple combos you can do. Um, yeah. How to charge your ultimate. Let me cover that real quick for you. All you have to do is uh, do damage. Hit them. Don't be fully defensive tank. You do have to go in there and do damage. You can take the hits, but you do got to do some damage. The more damage you do, the quicker it's going to charge. The more times that you're going to go rabid and just go on hunts. So if you like hunting players while being defensive and uh, I know there are others out there like me that love that, being able to take all the hits and still go on the hunt and just murder. Like they're gonna have fun with this. I already know it. But so you got to do those hits and got to get that in to charge up your ult. But good combos are you can walk in there, or you can shoulder dash up to it, or shoulder dash through it. Any enemy hordes or players or groups, you can stop and start attacking. Give it a moment. Where maybe your Logzuka's charging up. Maybe you got like 5 seconds. So you got to do some damage. Do some things. Um, then you can take some hits and then Logzuka people off like the top center lane down onto the second lane, or just launch them back and do damage. Then you can start focusing individual monsters or players or what have you. Once you are satisfied, then you can transform into mini werebear and start attacking there. Start doing damage. Just throwing hands just every which way. You'll see me like my screen spaz out sometimes when I'm playing because I'm just throwing hands at everything that my hands can touch. If you're coming near me, you're getting hands. You're just gonna get those hands left, right, down, uppercut. Oh man. So yeah, and then like let's say you do get damaged, or you need a little oomph to your step, just because you're doing good, but like this is one of those times where you're like, I can do good, but like I can do better. Like I can have some fun with this, and then you just transform and werebear and just go on hunt. Like you've already decimated the enemy team's monsters. Most of them are half health, gone, or what have you. Like you're good. The enemy players don't really have mana. They got to charge up. They're at like 1 and 2. They might be able to summon a monster or two, but they can't do anything big. So you just go in there and you just hunt. You just hunt and hunt and hunt and eat and pray and just. There is a reason that Bolgar won championships in the past. He is not to be trifled with. He has seen all of it. He has the experience. He has the ability to really cover a lot of situations and cover for his teammates and like defend them and like take that damage and while also dealing out good damage. All right. So that is basic Bulgar. So we are going to get into some deck building. I'm going to do it a little different, and that's because I have so many decks for Bulgar. So we're going to give examples with them. And kind of show you what it's all about. Just so you know, they have released some skins. Do not select these. This is not supposed to be there. These are it's just loaded in there. Unfortunately, if you do that, you might lose your ability to use any abilities. You might only be able to summon cards. So don't do it. It'll hurt you. You won't be able to play the game properly, and you will not have fun. So don't do it. But he has 4 skins. He has his original plus these 3. Um, but yeah, don't do that. It'll break your game. You will not enjoy it. Your game will crash. You won't be able to win your game. If you win your game, the only way you're winning your game is if you have the other people disconnect, and that's not gonna happen. All right, so everybody always gets your default deck. It's just default monsters. Help you learn the game. You will have to earn coins by playing and uh, annoying friends if they add in coin giving ability. Other than that, you might be able to win some coins in the future during events. With the way this game is set up, that might be possible. It's not possible right now, as far as I'm aware, but it might be in the future. It's just an idea I had at this moment. And I think that would be interesting if you could give out coins like during events and stuff, and be like, hey, here's some coins that you can use to get more cards. Like that'd be cool. Also, if they ever do battle passes, I think that would be really cool as well. But that's in a different video. So yeah, when you're building your decks, you want to build them around your character and how that character works, in addition to your playstyle. Um, Number one recommendation I can give you is to have multiple decks. The reason for this is that there is no one right way to play this game. There is no one right way to use these cards. There is no this is the only deck that will guarantee you victory. That's not how this game works. That's not how these characters work. That's not how these monsters work. That's just no, no. Now, a little bit of a warning before we get into my decks and what I do and why I do what I do. Um, this is my play style. This is not your play style. You have your own play style. A lot of folks that are watching this video are of the attack or uh, assassin class type of people in their play styles. They're the offensive style. I'm more of the support defensive style. So these cards, um, they work predominantly with my style being defensive. Some of my decks are built for offensive purposes, and that is a way of supplementing my defensive nature so that they're able to go in the attack when my playstyle and nature is telling me, hold on, I need to stay back and watch the core, but we also do need some attack in there. My decks can allow me, if I have those types of decks, to be able to pull those types of moves, whereas like some of my other decks are more defensive in nature, so it allows me to be able to go on the offensive. By having multiple decks, you're going to create multiple different um, subset play styles for yourself within your overall personal play style. So you'll be able to supplement yourself and be able to vary your playstyle in slightly different ways that allows you to be able to shake up your own gameplay so that you're more balanced and experiencing everything while also covering your bases while you're experimenting and changing things up. So have multiple decks. Also, when you're building your decks, make sure that it complements your style. Some of the things in my decks will not work for you because it's not part of your play style. Some of them will just work for me and how I play. So change things up, constantly change out your cards. All of these decks, even though they are built, they are not finished. I look at them and I'll play them and I'll be like, man, honestly, like the power's a little off. I need to add a little bit more offensive power, or I'll be like, I don't really have the defensive power that I was looking for in that match. So I'll switch out cards constantly. Like these decks are not static. They are variable. They are constantly being changed, fine tuning them to my individual subset of play styles and like how I use the character's abilities and how I want to try using them for the given match. Um, because there is no right answer and there is no wrong answer, it allows me that unique ability to constantly be able to make new decks, constantly create new variables within the matches. Another part of that is that you're going to come across, especially before official release, you're going to come across players and you're going to constantly be playing against them even after this game is released. You're going to have a couple of those players that you're constantly running into, and you're going to start to recognize how they play and they're going to start to recognize how you play. I know once this game officially released and you guys see my name on the screen, um, you're going to target me. It happens. It happens so much. I love it. I love it so much. It's so much fun. It doesn't matter the game I'm in. I like to I like to test games, and so I do, for the most part, get the honor of taking Riz as my name in all games because that's who I am. I'm just Riz. I've been it for like 30 years. It's just who I am. But um, there are, especially after it became the word of the year, that was so funny. A little annoying, but funny nonetheless. People keep on asking me if I have the Riz in me, and my response is, I am me. I mean, that's all I can be. um, so they'll target me for that. It's because there are some games out there that are awesome in a unique way in that they give like titles. Um, some games out there, when they have people testing their games, they give them something a little extra, just like a little thank you. That's like this, like that. I love that. That's awesome. Um, I'm going on a rant. I'm sorry, but it's a nice little thank you, and I love it. And I appreciate that. I hope it doesn't get wiped when official release happens. I don't think it will, but you know, if it does, then I'm gonna have to talk to somebody and be like, "Can I please have this?" And just and give like a poor porridge boy picture to him. Please, may I have another? But yeah, you want to constantly be changing your decks because you do recognize people's names, and people will recognize your name and they will target you. Especially if you put one of these monikers as your in your profile for when the matches load, they will extra target you. So any of you alpha testers out there who have never had an alpha test moniker, be prepared. You will get targeted, and they will come for you. So just get used to it. It's part of life. I've had to deal with it for like 10 years now, and never gets easier. But hey, it keeps you on your toes and it keeps you good at games. So welcome to the club. I thank you for your service, and may we always be victorious in our battles. Back to the deck building now. We're gonna go over some quick ones. Um, these are just ones I've kind of built over time. This one is the default Bulgar. You get it with every deck. With your decks, you can pick skin, so you can notice over here the skin color changes, and you can set that by deck. But let's just kind of go over one real quick. We're going to go over Wood's Edge. Wood's Edge is not one of my stronger ones, but it is a good one. Um, with this deck, I decided to do Call of the Wild, and what this does is when I use my ultimate and I go rabid on people, my teammates go rabid on people. So not only am I getting super strength, super health, super werebear, I am giving my teammates super strength. So they are going to be doing more damage while this is activated. So that's a great way to help out your team. Circle of Life. This one is really good if you are a big time jumper of getting into fights. What happens is that when you last hit an enemy summon or player and they go down, they will drop a health orb. Currently, from what I've seen, the health orb is just 10 health, but 10 health is enough. Like if you take out 3 Cacticrew, that's 30 health right there. That's enough. That's good. Like maybe 15 would be good, but like 10, that's fine. Like I'm good. Like just even the littlest bit, that's gonna help me survive during the battle. Let's say um, the both enemy players were out. They both had a 10 stack on their mana, and they just threw out everything. There's 3 Cacticrew. There's 6 punks. There's 3 punks, maybe 3 punks, 6 punks. There is the 6 from the bada boom from punks because they got the bada boom. And they've got some tall boys like Infernus and Jans in the back, and maybe they have like a medium like Burnout or no Tailblazer or Zip Zap. No, Zip Zap's at 6. No, maybe like a Ribbit. and they've got that all coming at you, and you run up there and you just cannon them with your wide bore. This gives you increased knockback power. It's gonna make them launch farther. And if you plan it right, you can do some. You can get some distance. Um, Little tip: use the jets. They make things go wee. So I recommend it if you can get the positioning right to definitely launch things into the jets because it will effectively double the distance. Um, it's great for disengaging the enemy from your position. Um, but what happens is, like, with the cannon's power, at least currently, and maybe in the future to a degree, it's got good power inside of the initial blast. So when you blast multiple summons at the same time, you'll knock them out. You'll desummon them, and they will leave health packs. And then you can just run up and go yum 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 in my tum 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 tum, and you will eat up all those health packs. Let's say there were 3 Cacticrew and 6 punks out there. That's 90 health. Yum. Just that is sizable amount of health to top yourself off if you need be. And your teammate can even use them. As far as I've seen, there is a bug there's a bug with scrap where it doesn't transfer over, but with Bolgar's health orbs, they do transfer over. So you can even leave them for your teammates to eat up and heal themselves. It's great for in the middle of skirmishes because you're healing yourself up, even though you are in combat. Or defensively, it heals you up as you're like running away and blasting monsters. So it's great. Um, Going into the other cards though, because this is a guide about Volgar. Beefy Berg. What this means is that you can go into your mini werebear form more often, meaning that you can bear out more often and just murder. Just murder. Swing. Swing for the heavens. Let all those around you know your might. So it means that you can be in werebear more often because the cooldown between periods will be less. Predator Instinct is really good, and I recommend it as one in that you gain bonus attack damage during the duration after using an ability. Well, for a duration after using an ability. So when you werebear, when you shoulder dash, when you logzuka, you get extra damage built into you for a set period of time, and so you're hitting harder. So you can hit even harder as mini werebear. You can hit harder with your cannon. You can hit harder with your shoulder dashes. It's really good for uh, uh, lowering the enemy's health so that they can't push as hard or they can't defend as hard. So I recommend that. It's a really good one. Sorry, I got like a burp in me. Oh, excuse me. My apologies. That is so incredibly rude. Stampede. What this does is increases the knockback power. So with Bolgar's shoulder dash, it does a little knockback. It's not a lot because he's just bashing with his shoulder. He's not kicking. He is not knocked down the door from its hinges kicking you. It's a little dash. This will up the distance and the time so that you have a little bit of a bigger clear when you're clearing with your dash. So it's really good if you really enjoy that quick movement with your shoulder dash and like the clear ability, and you like being able to like run around and do a quick little jump to switch your angle up and start running again. Like if that's like part of your play style, this will be really good for you, I think, because it'll mean that you can knock characters back farther, meaning you have more um, clearing of an area ability while you're using your ability. So I think this would be really good for people that like that ability or works really well in their play style. Fight or flight is where you gain movement speed for a duration after using Bolgar's charge. So let's say you are that person that likes that charging ability. You can and you like being able to move quickly around the map. You can use your charge and then once it runs out, you still have some extra speed. You're not knocking people back, but you still have some extra run speed, so you're still moving fast for a duration. Great pick. It'll help you with your escaping in and out, running into the battles, running out of the battles, running back to your core, running to the enemy's core. It's great. Um, Symbiosis, this increases the werebear duration. So, which one is it? Yeah. So symbiosis means that you can be in super werebear form for longer, and you can go on the hunt for longer. You can be the bear, to the true blue, one and only werebear just coming. Just charging in. So it means that you are the mega threat. You are the apex predator for longer in the match. That means that yeah, they're gonna have to deal with you while you're werebear. Sure, sure, sure. That happens. Super werebear is a thing that's going to happen in a match for every player. What this means is instead of it being just a short little bit of time, we're like, okay, okay, I can manage this. It's only a little bit of time. I can keep away from him. He can't really get to me. Like we can do this. That doesn't really apply anymore because let's say for example, it's only 10 seconds as Super Bear. They're like, I can handle 10 seconds. That's just the same amount of time as being out of combat. I can do that. And then you have this equipped, and then you have it for like 20, 30 seconds. It's not that long, I don't think. I have no idea. I'm just making up numbers. But let's say it was like 20 seconds now that you have it, for example. Uh, though I kind of wish it'd be longer because I love it. I love it so much. Just bearing out, going hunting. I love the hunt. It's so much fun. I highly recommend that you do it. Just go hunting. Just go hunting in Super Werebear. But it means that you're going for hunt. You're gonna have longer hunt periods. You're gonna have more longer periods of being rabid and only having red in the eyes, like red vision. Like that's what it means. It means that you are the super threat for longer during the match during those periods, and so the players have to watch out. And if you're lucky and you do it right, you might be able to double kill the enemy players and like really just hunt and just feast and just like revel in their blood. All right, so his last one is Pack Leader's Boon. Pack Leader's Boon is a great ability card. It's one of the better ones, and it's in several of my decks. Um, what this does is that when you activate Super Werebear, it will completely heal you, as you heard me mention way back before. And it also heals the teammates that are around you. It's kind of like a lump in that it does an AoE heal, and it'll just heal them, and it'll yeah, max heal them. So if they're like 5 health, and you're like 10 health, and you just broke down the goalie, you're at the enemy's core. They don't have any monsters, but they're running up because they're just respawning, and you're like, uh-oh, we're going to die. Mm-mm, baby, we got other plans in here. just ult. Just ulti on him. And what's that? Oh, I'm sorry. You now have 500 health at full health. Your teammate now went from 5 health all the way up to 250 health. Oh, please, please tell me about these dire situations that you are in. I would love to hear more about this. So it's a great pick. It's great for during engages. It's great for defensive engagements. You and your teammate have been defending. They wind up getting your core down, your goalie down. Now it's your core. You guys are both at like half health. One of the teammates the enemy players who had died respawn back in, was able to use the jets to jump back in onto your core. They've got full mana. They're ready to go, and you guys are hurting. You don't have the mana because you just cleared out their big wave from 4. This can be that lifesaver for you. This will at least heal you up, do that big knockback initial damage, and then it'll just put you in hunt mode. You don't have to worry about your health when you want to go into health hunt mode with your ultimate, because it will heal you every time, all the time, when you use your ulti. So anytime you want to go on your hunt, you just ult, and you just know that when you hunt, it's going to be a hunt because you're going to have full health. You're going to have that 500 health. You're going to have that basic attack knockback. You're going to have that initial transformation damage. You're going to have that initial transformation knockback. Like this is a card that when you equip it every day, all day is hunt day. So I highly recommend that card. I do use it in a lot of my builds, not every build because that's not what I'm looking for in every deck that I build. Um, so let's actually go back since I mentioned all of those cards, and we'll now start talking about why I'm building the decks I'm building. So like Wood's Edge, with this deck, it is just on the edge of the woods, aptly named, where it's it's where you find that difference between like a prairie field and the deep woods. It's that woods edge. And what I mean by that with this is you've got some monsters, like not really scary monsters. They're not in the deep of the woods. Um, you've got your non-scary monsters. You got your growing trees that are further expanding the woods. You've got your birds that kind of just like feed on everything, and they can fly around and do the damage that they need. You've got your big baddie in the woods that is like the apex predator of that area. You've got your turtles. They eat bugs, and they cover a wide area. You've got your rocks and your stones, your in place things. You've got nature's rebirth right here, and you got the hard killing of the animal's nature. But let's actually go into the actual cards now. So Tadpole, with Tadpole, he's a low mana monster, which means that you can throw him out very easily. The bonus with them is um, no. Uh, with Tadpole, it should be up now. Yeah, so. That's funny. Tadpole is very small, but he upgrades with each summon. So every time you summon him, it increases the amount of tadpoles that you summon. I really do like that they added this in there. It looks really nice. So props to you guys for that. Adding in like the descriptions. Um, with him, he upgrades over time, but he has abilities to him. He is a melee, so he does close combat fighting. He is part of a horde, which means he is more than one summon. He starts out as one, but each time you summon him, it adds one. So it's first time you summon, it's one summon. Second time you summon, two summons, and so on and so forth, all the way up to like 6 summons. If they did like 10 summons and they did a true horde of frogs, that would be kind of wild. Yeah, see, he liked that idea. But they're really great for just helping out, fill in the field, and creating a push and backing up your other monsters. Uh, Ribbit is great for offensive and defensive abilities. They can attack and do time dilation abilities. It takes them a moment once they're summoned to actually get into attacking, but when they do, they slow down anything that they attack for a period, and that means easy pickings on that summon or player. So if they hit a monster, it'll slow them down. If they hit a player, it'll slow the player down. Easy pickings. Just get in there, start bashing on them, just having a field day. It's great pickings. Sport, true blue backbone of any deck. He's not in all of my decks, but he is in a lot of them, most of them. He is my favorite character. He is a set it and forget it. This is a great defensive and offensive character. When you get him, just throw him in the second lane. Throw him off to the side. Bonus points if there's a wild card down there because he will effectively attack them. Well, what happens is he generates uh, triplets over time, but I like to call them the spodes. And they are miniature versions of him, and uh, they attack along with him. They advance down the lane. If they have enough distance on the lane, he can create a sizable force. He can create like 12 to like 18 of them in a single lane push. If you position him right on spawn and you get the wild card down below, and what he'll do is him and his little trooplets, his little spodes, they'll clear out the shield. You won't have to do the work. Once they're done and you see them moving on to the other side of the lane, you know that shield's broken. All you have to do is just walk down there and take the shield. You don't have to waste time breaking it down or anything. He'll do that for you and create an army. It's a 2-and-2, baby. Like, let's go. Yes, I will take that. You're eliminating my need to focus on dealing with the wild card until the wild card is actually ready to deal with. Thank you. I love you. Uh, Beakit is another great pick in that Beakit is ranged. It's a double attack with each attack, and if you are at his max attack range when he hits you, you're in for even bigger world of hurt than I realized before. So Beakit has a boomerang attack where they throw out their head, and it spins and it goes out, and it like stops at its max range for like a second and a half, and it just kind of sits there for a second and a half, and then it comes back. It's not long. You can barely notice it. It looks like one fluid motion. I just happened to notice the the momentary delay when it hit that max range. And I was like, oh, and then I got hit by it. And I was like, oh. Beakit is strong. They will keep at a distance. They have heavy damage. You take damage when it first goes through you, and when it um, goes back through you when it's returning to Beakit. A little caveat that I learned, or possibly, is that you will get more damage if you are at max range of Beakit. So do not go at max range of Beakit because it like sits there for like 0.25 seconds and it does an extra attack. So it's like technically 3-4 hits instead of the 2. So if you were unlucky enough to be dealing with that, for the love of God, move. Otherwise, take them out. But they are great offensively. They will help your lanes push, and they will push from the back line. They'll keep themselves safe, and they will hit multiple targets. It's not a one-hit thing with them. It hits everything it passes through, both when going out and coming back. So it's great in being able to cover large amounts of monsters in a path because its attack is in a path, and it can hit multiple people. So it's really great. I highly recommend it. Um, Infernus, I love Infernus. Infernus is my favorite big bad of the big three, or we'll say the big four, including Goret. I see a lot of people like Elephant, and I want to like him. It's just not for my play style. And Furnace is for my play style. That's my play style right there. He is your big bad daddy defense. Um, Elephant is more damage and mobility. Jans is more about damage. Goret's about that defense, and I like Goret a lot, but Infernus is the one like no other. Goret has more damage. He's more focused on damage than defense. Infernus is a true defensive, and that works with my playstyle. That's why I love him. Plus, he looks cool. He looks like a molten Godzilla, kind of like an alien molten Godzilla variant. It's good. Like you don't see Godzilla, but just the fact that it has scales makes me think Godzilla. But like really great, like great character, great abilities. AoE fire damage for defensive purposes, and then flaming breath for offensive purposes. So it's a great card. I don't recommend more than one or two high level, the seven and above cards, because it takes a lot of mana and planning. I see people with two. I've seen a couple people with three and four. I don't even know how you play like that. That's probably why you guys keep on losing. But you can if you want. I do not recommend it, but again, these are just my recommendations. You play how your play style wants. I recommend one, maybe two, but there are people out there that are doing three and fours, and just doing what they do. But they're all great picks. It's more about your play style. I also pick Shell Shock as great defensive offensive character. You throw them down by your core, and it will take them a long time to get to the enemy's core, but that's okay. They have a long range. They can target multiple summons and players during their attack, and they do decently good damage. So they're great for long range clearing of incoming waves or helping to push your units that are further down in the lanes. They'll help with the damage. They are a great pick. When they are not attacking, they do go into a defensive stance, which means that they take 50% less damage because they are in a reload process. Once the reload process is done, they go on the offensive and they start attacking again. It's a really good pick. Deadeye is great because Deadeye, for the most part, is a stationary character. They will stay where you summon them unless they get attacked. If they get attacked, they're gonna run to safety. They are gonna run to safety, and once they feel they're safe, they're gonna plop right back down, and then they're gonna start attacking again. They're a ranged character. They do good damage. They attack often. They are a great defensive piece, and they are a great offensive piece. Some recommendations from me are spawn them around your core. Spawn them on the top lane. As you're going across the top lane, you can create kind of like checkpoint areas with your Deadeye and create kind of like a defensive advance as you're advancing across the field and pushing the line of battle closer and closer to the core. You can use them offensively for defensive purposes. You can station them down below to either focus on the wildcard shield or any enemy players slash monsters that come down there and to the wildcard area or to walk that lane. They're great in all the different ways that you can utilize them. They can attack from the center top lane all the way down onto the bottom lane, the second lane. So they're great and have good range and utility. I recommend them. Buckshot. Buckshot is a great card. They attack from a range and they have rampage. Oops. No! There we go. I want to get some details. Rampage. Each successful. Oh gosh, I thought it was just the critical. Oh. Buckshot is a beast. So it just summons like with that look and nature. But Rampage, each successful hit increases the damage of the next. So every time they successfully hit a monster or player, their damage increased. So they're going to be doing harder and harder hits. That's heavy. That is heavy, especially if you have them in the back line and you're able to like continuously summon like low-level monsters the front line to keep them from getting touched or noticed, and they can just start getting off arrows. Boom, 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 just like heavy hitting. So I recommend Buckshot a lot. Lump is a great character offensively and defensively. With Lump, it applies a regeneration that can overheal any teammates in range. It creates an AoE heal, and then it also has a little bit of tapered healing. So, like, you get your initial big heal, which can save your teammates, save your monsters, what have you. And then you get some little tapered off healing in the end. It's like 10, but it's just like 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. It's just really small. It's a little small thing. So if you get hit hard, like, doesn't matter. It's not gonna heal that. You're gonna go down. But it's that nice little, it's that cushiony blanket. That thing that like when you get like fresh warm sheets and you just put them on your bed and you're about to go to sleep and you like get into your freshly washed blanket and your freshly washed sheets, and you just kind of like slink in there, and you're just like, ah, that's what that tapered healing is. It's that nice little comfort, and you're like, yes. Like I'm taking these hits, but that's okay. I got this little bit of extra going on me. So Lump is a great character. I highly recommend him. Sembler is also great. They have reworked the spawning characters for the most time. What it used to be is that um, they would spawn and they would sit there, and this also does apply to Deadeye, but they would gradually lose health over time. They'd still have their max health bar, but they would lose health over time, and if their health dropped to zero, they would just despawn. Um, and a counter to that was to spawn an aloe and just keep their health bars up, just keep them fed, just keep it going. They've changed the way it does now. So when you spawn them, they don't need to. The continuously healing them doesn't need to happen. Their overall maximum health is what's going to decline over time. So um, they'll start at full amount of health, and then their overall max HP number, like 1 out of 100 out of 100, will start to be 99 out of 99, 98 out of 98, 97 out of 97, 96 out of 96. They can take damage during that time, so let's say they took 50 damage, so they're at like 50 to 100, 50 to 99, 50 to 98, 50 to 97, 50 to 96. Your aloe or other monsters can come in there and heal them and get them back up to like that 97 out of 97, 96 out of 96, 95 out of 95. You can do that, but that's not really going to help you in the long run. Their just max health is going to go all the way down, and I think it's to 1. I think the lowest max health they are putting on it is 1. It might be 0 and they just despawn. I don't know. I, I haven't really used it that much and like stared at it because I'm testing all the other cards with the abilities while I'm playing. So I'm not staring per se at him. I'm gonna have to do that next time. Just like count it out and see what they're doing. But they're great. They will periodically spawn out low mana shooter crews. They'll just spawn one of those out and they'll just go down the lane and they'll push for you. If you can get like 2 or 3 of these spawned during one session, you can have uh, basically a shooter crew card spawn out every couple of like seconds or so. Not every couple seconds. It's like 8 seconds. I don't know. That's a complete guess to me. I'm sure one of them's gonna be like, no, it's actually this. They're like, okay. I don't know. No one would really do that, but if any of you in the wildcard team see that and you want to let me know what the actual spawn time is, like I would love that. That's cool. I don't know what that actually is though, and you don't really need to know what it is. The general idea is like every 8 seconds. So you can get like if you had 3 of those out, you could just spawn those out. As far as wildcard goes, nothing's really changed. So if you know about the wild cards, then you can do it. That's a lot of Spanish, so that's an error. If you read that, well, you read it, but these are the wild cards that are currently out, and nothing's really changed with them between Alpha 3 and Alpha 4, so there's nothing new for you to really learn. They all do great things. My three picks for this build were Astral Rejuvenation, so I'm getting more mana. I can summon out those monsters faster. Also Tranquil Shielding, so when I'm out of combat, I get that shield. It's a little bit of a buffer protection for me, and I really enjoy it. And cooldown reduction. I want to be able to use my abilities more often. This cooldown reduction coupled with this beefy burr means you're going hard all the time, and this is a little daunting. Somebody's soul has left their body right here. And even him, he's like, no, do not trust this imposter. That is an imposter. That is not the real me. Why won't anyone listen to me? That is a fake burr. Arr. But you could use that cooldown reduction along with this, and then you're bared out for way longer. These are why I picked these cards. I will let you quickly see some of my other builds, give you an idea. So that was Wood's Edge build. We have the Growing Garden. This build is more focused on defensive healing and growing out your summon. So you have the Spore and the Cacticine. They're advancing, spawning more units. You have your Gore and your Slow Claw as your big monsters pushing things back. You have your Buckshot and your Pocus as your ranged fighters for you. And you have your Grok and your Chunk and your Cacticuru as your front lines, pushing the battle lines farther into the enemy's territory. And then you have a Lump to heal you. As far as your abilities, you have Beefy Burr so that you're in your wear longer. You have the Circle of Life so that you're getting health as you're doing damage. And as an extra bonus for when you want to, for when you want to hunt and create fertilizer for your garden to grow, you have your ultimate that ability that heals you instantly for all full health when you do your ultimate. Wild Field is it's just wild. That's why I named it Wild Field. It's just wild. It's just everything. It's got Lava Drop for offensive, defensive purposes, for area of denial, Tadpoles to help with creating viable pushes forward, along with a backup of the Punks who can support the Tadpoles as they're advancing, along with Buckshot and Beak-It, and Shell Shock. This allows for a lot of ranged attack, so you're not the main pusher, you are supporting the main pushers while also being able to go on the offensive. Infernus helps with that long with defensive pushes, the Lump heals you, and the DFA allows you to be more offensive. It's just wild. It's a split between being more offensive than defensive, um, and you just are kind of like pushing forward and advancing really hard. The spring build, that's more of a light day for the abilities on Wild Field. We have the Wild Boar, so you can cannon and launch them out faster and break up fights so that your ranged units have more time to attack from range. They don't have to get up and close, they can attack from range. You have Predator's Instinct, which is going to help with your durations, I believe. I think that's what it is. Oh, the amount of damage you do over time. And then you have the healing, which is going to heal you, so you can get in there. You can have your defensive ones helping you out as you're attacking. For Springfield, the Spring build, because it apparently highlights it better. We have Predator's Instinct for that increased damage, fight or flight. increased movement for our dashes so we can get in there and move around quickly when we get in there or disengage. And we have symbiosis, which means that we can be our werebear faster. So we can run in there quicker, be bear faster, and do more damage. With this build, it's kind of the same as our wild field build. There's not much variation. We do have the burnout for that engage because this build is more towards being offensive with the ribbit and the slowdown and the lava drop and the burnout. Um, you have your defensive measures like filling up the second lane, defending your base, but you also have your offensive like attacking. So it's really good for offensive and defensive with a little bit, uh, just a slight more emphasis on pushing in than the wild build per se. You're going to see a lot of the same monsters in a lot of builds, and that's because I'm tweaking them for slightly different reasons. The brown bear build is a good build. Brown bear is it's an offensive build, fully offensive. Um, just go in there. You're going to be attacking. What this is you have your wild boar, so you're going in there, you're blasting things away. You're interrupting other people's plans by blasting them away. Whether it be blasting them off the top lane to the bottom lane, blasting them away from your core, just blasting them out from their monsters. You're going full offensive, like engaging and disrupting. You're keeping yourself at full health every time you go into your ultimate, and you're going for heavy hunts. You are going to be hunting people. You are the brown bear on the field, and it is your territory. You defend your territory. You go after everyone, and you get that extra damage when you're in mini werebear form or you're using your Logzuka because you're going offensive. You are the brown bear. If you need some healing, you're going to have that healing, but you're also going to have some people that are helping you attack from a range. You're going to have those big, powerful hits when you need to clear out the enemy's minions so that you can focus on the enemy players, or just take out all the weak stuff so you're not taking that small damage over time. And you just clear that all out, and you only have to focus on the big, bad ones. DFA, fully offensive. You're targeting those players. You're targeting those monsters. You're eliminating them from the field. That is DFA. Did not finish the anything because you are down and out. I don't know what DFA actually stands for. But it is used, and when it's used correctly, it will just destroy everything. It's fully offensive, and it's a great ability. You keep a little bit of defensive offensive. It's an advancing unit that will fill up either the bottom or the top lane. I recommend the bottom lane, but I've seen it and used it on the top lane as well, and it's very effective. You just like lose one or two spawn summons is all because it is shorter, but it'll fill up the lane and it'll attack for you. You can throw it out behind you and it'll build up behind you. And when it finally gets up to you, you got like one or two spawns on you if you plan it right. And it's great for offensive, defensive abilities. But since this is an offensive deck, it just increases the number of monsters that are attacking for you. Gorit is a secondary super werebear. He does the knockback and he does damage. Not a lot, but he does damage. And he's got that health pool, so it's like having a mini super werebear for the knockback. You can summon him out and then go into werebear form yourself, and you're both big, beefy tanks, just taking those hits, holding the line as the enemy's ranged monsters keep pelting with their fireballs, their arrows, their energy blasts, the whole 9 yards. You are up there. You are the dangerous duo. You are the kings of the jungle. Brown bear and gorilla, just charging through. So it's great for offensive and defensive purposes. You can break up offensive pushes to your core. Chunk is great for diverting attention. It's great for if you're like medium health, low health, half health, what have you. They can take the attention off of you while you run in there with your dash, your shoulder dash, and you break up everything. They were focused on you, so they're not going to hit you, and you can focus on that, or you can just run in there and werebear or super werebear, what have you, bear out, go full rabbit on them, and just like go to town. He's a great distraction. Shell Shock is your backline defensive attacker. He's going to be attacking multiple characters multiple times, so he's great. Chrono Drop is also good. You throw that out there when you have your ultimate ready. Yes, please. You throw that out there. It is going to stun them for only a second because they have changed the time of dilation rules because well the forbidden combo was forbidden for a reason. um, but with it, you stun them for a second. That's gonna give you enough time to be able to transform. So you can throw it, and like, let's say you're like right next to them. You were jumping into the fight, and you got Chrono Drop to go off right as you're hitting the ground. Your feet touch the ground from jumping in. You have more than enough time to ult. And what that ult is going to do is that is going to just blast everything away. So that person that got time dilated, they are going to feel the full fury that is a true blue ultimate super werebear, just rabid, just blood curdling rage, just unleashed. And for a second, they're not going to be able to do anything. They might be able to dash out if they're lucky to survive, but who knows? If they are, then you have your dash and you just lunge at them and you just tear into them. You just rip into them, just like just ripping them, just ripping the meat from their bones. And then you have Short Fuse. Short Fuse is great. He's a ranged character. He's got little bombs that he throws out, and he does a little explosive damage. He's a great support character. Some people were saying that he has a little too much damage, but I haven't really noticed it. So I don't know. To me, I don't feel, but that could be true. Default Daddy. Default Daddy is actually is the first deck I built when trying out decks. Default Daddy is just an experimental deck, but it covers kind of like all of the bases that you need. So if you want Default Daddy, by all means you can have Default Daddy. There's no problem with that. I gotta take that off because I accidentally hit the wrong key. Um, Default Daddy has Fight or Flight. It's gonna give you that movement speed you need when you're attacking. It's going to give you that extra health you need. And when you're using your abilities, it's going to give you that extra damage you need. As far as the cards go, you kind of know all of these cards, but we'll go into a quick rundown. Uh, Increases the amount of summons over time, so you're getting bigger pushing waves. This is your healing. This is your attacking disruptor, disrupting the attacks of enemy monsters and players. This is your line pusher. The Short Fuse and Buckshot are your at-range supports to your characters. You got your Lava Drop and your Chrono Drop for area denial, whether it be by slowing everything down or setting everything on fire. You have another range damage character because as a new player, you're charging in a lot. You're experimenting with the characters, getting to know everything, and this will be a great support for you and your monsters while you do it. And then of course you have your Big Daddy Infernus, who's going to help you defend and attack. Hibernation build. The hibernation build is it's a sleeper build. Hence the hibernation build. This was actually my main deck until Nature's Call build. Nature's Call is just wild. I can't believe I built that. But hibernation build. You have your increased movement ability. You have increased knockback distance and damage when you're using your shoulder dash. So you're moving around quick around the map and doing damage while you're doing it. You have increased duration with your werebear, so like you're moving around quickly and you're bearing out a long time when you're in the map. So like when you're out of werebear, you're moving around quickly, but you're gonna be able to stay longer in that werebear form to do a lot of damage. You have your push, which is tadpoles, which grow over time, along with your Hornelius, who's doing extra damage over time. You also have your Volcab, who is spewing out your lava drops for you, creating area of denial as he pushes down the lane. He's getting supported by Beakit and Deadeye defensively. Pocus is going to be pushing with them and applying knockback when they attack. Zip Zap's going to be your focus summon, kind of like your Malice. Is his name Malice? Um, Kind of like your Magmalisk. He's gonna be a great support because he does increased damage over time when focusing on a character. So the longer he's attacking a character, core, goalie, wildcard shield, summon, he's gonna be getting increased damage over time. You're gonna see that beam get brighter and brighter as the damage increases. And then you're going to have your support and health. So that's the hibernation build. Bada Boom is great for clearing out things while you are switching between offensive and defensive. This build is built more as a defensive, keeping the lanes clear build. So you can have you can have most of these this entire top lane and the middle three down here focused on pushing your lanes for you so you can go on the offensive. It doesn't anyone that sees your cards somehow beforehand or what have you isn't going to see that and be like, what is this? This isn't anything. This is all for lane control. This Lump and Zip Zap, that's focused on you only. Those are the you cards. These are the lane game cards, and your outside two down here, or your focus on you cards. This is to focus on yourself and your teammates. If you want to use it to keep your monsters alive, by all means, do it. I recommend it. It's fun, but this is more focused on you and your teammate when you guys need health and you need that little bit of extra help. Zip Zap's going to be your targeter. If you can position him correctly, he will help you focus on a monster or a player, so you can summon them in a spot where the enemy player is the closest one to them, so they'll focus them and they'll start attacking. They will not change their target. They'll just keep attacking him, or the target player, monster, what have you, over and over and over, increasing the damage over time. You can then focus on that one. It's going to be very easy to tell who they focus on because they attack at range. They'll attack before you even get there. You can just focus that monster down. You got your big bad hits and zip zaps, damage over time hits. It's really good for like assassin-y attacks if you can position the summon correctly. And then we have Nature's Call. Nature's Call is my current go-to build right now out of trying these things, but this is probably going to be only true for like the next week. Who knows? I don't know. You have Wild Boar for that increased rocket launch damage. You have Circle of Life. So when you use your Log Zuka and you kill everything around you, they're all gonna drop life orbs. Easy health packs for you, right there, served up for lunch. It's just a quick meal to fill you up, and you go about your day. Um, and Circle of Life also does apply to werebear. So while you are bearing out and just slapping everyone and just like knocking them out and knocking them out of the match, you're going to be getting those health drops as well. So it's a double whammy. Whether you're in Bolgar or Werebear form, you're dropping health packs for you and your teammate to continuously just heal up and like live. So it's great. You have your Big Daddy Infernus for both offensive and defensive plays. You have Buckshot, who's doing increased damage every time he hits a target. You got Bada Boom to clear out those lanes. and just do heavy damage. If they have enough wind up time and they come against a big baddie like Infernus, they'll take Infernus out. They don't care. They're like, oh, you're coming to me? Like, dude, what are you even thinking? Get out of here. You have Deadeye, great defensive play character that you can throw everywhere around the map and really just come up with unique situations where they are clutch. You have Volcab for pushing your lanes with area denial. You have Zip Zap as your assassin assistant when you're focusing players or monsters or what have you, or if you really need to just dwindle something's health down and you can summon it in the correct position, you can really turn the tide in like some battles. Tadpole's going to help you with pushing. Uh, by increasing the amount of summons over time. So you want to summon them a lot so you can get to that max number as quick as possible. Ribbit's going to be a great disruptor. They're going to disrupt either the enemy monsters or the enemy players, or it's going to at least make the enemy players have to think about, oh, there's a Ribbit on the field. I need to get rid of that thing because if I get touched by a thing, it's going to be annoying because I'm going to get slowed. You have your Cactus King, who's going to be helping you with spawning in additional units. Um, so they're going to be advancing down the lane, and if they come across an enemy player or summon, they're going to start throwing out units to help with the fight. So it's going to slowly grow the forces for you in your favor. And then you got Bump for that self healing, your teammates healing, your monsters healing, keeping everything going so that you can stay on the offensive and just keep yourself healing. This build really does focus on having a lot of monsters that can do specific damage, along with also focusing on just keeping yourself alive, keeping that health up, keeping your teammates and your monsters alive. I think the monsters can pick up the health packs, but I don't think they can. But you and your teammate can. So this is going to keep you guys alive, keep you in the fight longer, keep you healed longer, doing hard, specific damage on characters and monsters harder. And then it's also going to give you a little extra health, and you're going to be able to use your abilities quicker, and you're going to have your mana filled faster, so you're going to be able to summon faster. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. But these are my builds. These are kind of why I built them. Hopefully, some of this stuff helps you out. Some tips and tricks when doing your decks. Again, remember, my play style is not your play style. You have your own play style. So these decks, they work for me for the most part. I'm still tweaking them all. It's never going to be finished. There's always going to be changes that come about, especially when new monsters come into the game later on in its life. There are tons of options. Continuously experiment. Make the decks into what you think you can use and how you play. That's going to be probably the biggest tip I can give you is experiment and try things out in ways that help you play. Um, I'm sure later on there are going to be tons of videos on like how to build your deck, how to play your character, how to use your abilities, and they're gonna tell you that this is the way you have to do it. This is the way you're gonna win matches. This is the only way I can win matches. And this is what everyone's doing to win their matches. Don't listen to them. That's because they have their own play style, and you know what? Maybe that deck does work for them. Maybe that deck is really good for them and their play style. But you aren't them. You are your own player. You're your own gamer. You have your own style. You're in one of those five classes: tank, support, ranged slash mage, assassin, attacker. Like you have your own play style. They might be an attacker or an assassin type, but maybe you're the range slash mage type. So their suggestions aren't going to work for you. Maybe you're like me and a tank or a support. their suggestions aren't going to work for you. Maybe some of my suggestions will work for you, but let's say you're a tank assassin style play style, is your play style. You charge in real quick and do heavy hits while being a tank. So you're that assassin tank. Some of my tips might work for you, some of them might not. Who knows? I don't know. It's really up to your play style. So experiment with your cards. Don't just follow what people tell you. Don't just follow what I'm telling you because um, if you watched my other video about Bolgar deck building, you'll know that some of the things that I was talking about in there no longer apply. That's why I'm making a new video. It's because there's new information that I learned. There's new things being put into place. There's new opportunities to experiment. So take those opportunities, experiment with your cards, experiment with your decks, try things out. Not everything's gonna work, but hey, that's half the fun of it. I mean, you might have lost a match because you tried out a really wonky deck. You wanted to like you knew this deck was not gonna work, but you wanted to see anyways. Like try it out, and you lost a match. That's okay. That doesn't matter. You got to try out your deck. You got to fool around and experiment. You got to see what was going on. I will say that if they have a ranked system in the future, don't do that in the ranked. Please, for the love of God, do not experiment with decks in ranked. But in like casual play, heck yeah, dude. That's what that's for. You get to have fun. You casually play the game. You get to enjoy yourself. You get to enjoy trying out things. If you want to be sweaty in that, that's okay. Just don't expect everyone you play with or against to be a sweat lord in casual. That's where you get to experiment with things. That's where you get to kind of relax and enjoy the game, but also kind of take it a little bit seriously because you want to win that game. And that's and trying out those different decks to see if they make it better for you to win the game is part of that. So try out everything. Try out abilities. Try to use the abilities in ways that they're not really supposed to be used, because you might find something tricky that's kind of sneaky and fun to use in your game. And I'm all about the sneaky and fun. Like if you can break the game without breaking the game and not ruin the game for others, like yeah, dude, like give me the bugs. Nom 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 nom. I love finding bugs in games. That's why I love testing games. Finding games and just kind of like making things happen. Like that's half the fun for me. But I digress. But yeah, this is what I can think of to tell you about Bulgar. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I hope you like and subscribe. If you don't, I totally get that. I don't like and subscribe to like anything I watch on YouTube. So I'm not expecting you to. If you do though, it'd make me feel really good because like I got another subscriber. I do a little dance where I throw my hands in the air like I just don't care. Woo woo, hoot hoot, woo woo, hoot hoot. So if you do, I would love it. If you don't, I totally get that, and that's fine. Outside that though, if you see me in the games, and you feel like it, and you want to target me, and you want to go ham on me, and just go full brown, be like, haha, Bofil. I'm gonna tell you, let's do it. Why not? If I notice that you're going super sweats on me, I will do my best to go super sweats back at you. If I don't notice it, and you just beat me into oblivion, that's awesome. Honestly, win or lose, I like playing games, and I enjoy losing almost as much as winning. For example, when Shady McShaderson, Shady Shiba, who is un- unfortunately for me a god when it comes to playing the DFA summon, um, because he will just sneak those DFAs out of nowhere. Like you'll be alive 1 second, then all of a sudden you're just dead, and you're like, "What the heck just happened?" It's because of Shady and his DFA. Like, dude. Like why? So like I enjoy losing. So like if you can beat me down, I welcome it. I'll have a good laugh. But yeah, in the matches, I hope you enjoy the game. I hope that this video helps you out. If it does, awesome. If it didn't, maybe one of my other videos can help you out. I don't know. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the game. I'm enjoying it. Outside that, until next time and every time, I just want you to be safe. Until then, I'll see ya.